In this battle report, we have the high-tech Saar against the mighty and strong Goliath. Both sides hired by the local guilders to root out a problem in the sector. Creatures in the dark lurking around. The issue is, these two gangs don't want to share the bounty, so blood will be spilled on all sides. Hello and welcome to Rapid Tabletop. My name is Leonard, but you can call me Leo. So this will be my first battle report in Necromunda. I made some in the past, but this is my first serious attempt of making a quality battle report, I think. During my editing process and recording, I have found a lot of things I need to improve on, and rather than re-editing everything, I decided to upload this version that I have so I can reflect myself back in the future and see what I can improve on and how I have developed. So one of the things I will change, I will get better dices, because some of mine are a little bit too glossy so you cannot really see the results. Data slates or data cards will be improved, and I will use a little bit of a new system so you can see the data cards of each fighter a little bit more clearly in the future. And of course, as usual, if you do like the content here, please do consider subscribing, leaving a like, and if you really do like the content, please do become a patron, as this helps out the channel a lot. But I do want to mention a podcast that actually made all of this possible. They are quite tired actually of hearing me mentioning this over and over again. But without these guys, I wouldn't be here creating content on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, wherever it is. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Some City Radio, a very good podcast that got me into Necromunda. Without them, I would not be creating content here for you guys. So if you do consider putting a Patreon on me or Some City Radio and cannot really decide, place it on Some City Radio. They're the one who started it all. But enough about that, let's head into the battle report. House Van Saar, the Code Splicers. Combi Plasma and Power Knife and Mesh Armor. Twin Las Pistols with the Hotshot Las Pack, Mesh Armor. Spider Rig and a Sub Las Carbine, Mesh Armor. Las Gun, Hotshot Las Pack for the Specialist, and Mesh Armor. Just a Las Gun for this guy. And Dual Las Pistols. Las Gun, and that's about it for this subtech. House Goliath, Yo's Muscles. Heavy bolter and an axe and a lot of gene smithing. Paired spudjackers and a stub gun. Paired pulverizers and a stub gun. Grenade launcher and an axe. Stub gun and fighting knife. And the same thing for lady, stub gun and fighting knife. A roll off for the deployment. Goliath chooses the top left corner. First out is lady, behind the wall on the lift. First out for Van Saar, Norman, behind the wall on the far right side. Shiv, second level, ready to assault into the enemy deployment. Valkyrie on the bottom level behind the wall. Boomer on the second level behind crates overseeing the battlefield. Helen, she goes on the second level behind the wall, ready to counterattack. Hank the Tank, bottom level on a platform behind the wall. Simon Atterus, he goes on the second level behind some crates overseeing the battlefield. Handsome Joe, bottom level platform behind some walls. And a group, Franz, Leopold and Chris behind the wall, ready to go out the gigantic gate. And last but not least, Shadow Smasher infiltrating behind enemy lines. Winning the priority roll was huge for the Van Saar, meaning that Shadow Smasher cannot make his initial charge directly. With this, Franz takes his grab cutter and moves up to the second floor. From this elevated position, he has clear sight down to Shadow Smasher and opens fire. He scores a hit, but an ammo check is required. He fails and is out of ammo. He fails with the injury roll, but Shadow Smasher is pinned. Boomer takes his chance and shoots a frag grenade towards Simon. Scores a hit right next to him. Knockback check failed, and there's no wound either. And Simon makes a falling test, which he passes. Helen is next. She moves into position to get a better, clear view of Shiv. From her new position, she has clear line of sight and makes her shot. Sadly, even though it's a clear shot, she misses. Handsome Joe is up next. He group activates with Hang to Tank and Lady. Starting off with Hang to Tank, makes a double move, moves up behind cover, hiding himself from the Van Saar ranged weapons. Lady, she does a double move also, and moves up behind the wall next to the big gate. For stealing the priority, Handsome Joe wants revenge. He shoots at Norman and scores 4 hits. Though he only manages to make 2 wounds, it's enough on a simple prospect. The injury result is out of action. Valkyrie, with his superior mobility, moves up onto the second level. From the second level, she can get a clear view of Shiv. She opens fire. She scores 2 hits, 1 ammo check, which she passes. Wound rolls, not so lucky, but Shiv, he fails his initiative test and falls down, but no damage is done. Shadow Smasher. He stands up from a pinned condition, moves towards the ladders, and prepares for a charge the next turn. Simon stands up after being shot by Boomer. He wants to return the favor, lines up the shot, but he misses. After his fall, Shiv stands up and moves in behind the pipe, preparing for a counterattack. Leopold makes a group activation together with Chris and Franz. Chris opens up the door and moves through to shoot at Lady. He scores 1 hit and ammo checks are needed. He passes both ammo checks over to wound roll, it succeeds, and inflicts a light wound. Franz charges in on Lady, succeeds with a charge roll, makes 6 attacks where 1 is a 6 automatic wound, 2 wound rolls successful, and the injury roll indicates an out of action. And then Franz consolidates to the right, facing towards the enemy. Leopold, however, prepares for the next turn and moves up the lift to get a better view of the battlefield. And good thing he did, because 2 creatures spawned right next to his old position. Meanwhile, on the other side, 2 additional creatures spawns right next to Hang to Tank. They can't fail their charge and they attack. First one misses, and the second one, well, he misses as well. Hang to Tank strikes back. 1 hit on the first one and 2 hits on the second. Wound rolls. 1 wound on each. First one takes a light wound, and the second one takes a serious injury. And on the other side, the creatures are eyeing up Chris around the corner. Make a charge roll, and of course they reach in. He attacks, 2 hits. And he wound. Chris needs to make a save, and he passes. Chris strikes back. 1 hit. Successful wound. And serious injury. Second minion charges in. Makes 2 attacks. 2 hits. And 2 wounds. Chris needs to make 2 saves. Passes 1, fails 1. Takes a wound. Chris strikes back. 2 hits. and 1 wound. And another serious injury. In the end phase, the creatures needs to roll for recovery. The first one rolls out of action, and the second one rolls a light wound. And the same thing goes for the creature next to Hank the Tank. He rolls out of action. And here's a turn 1 overview. Movement for the Saar, and movement for the Goliath. Attack patterns from the Saar, and the attacks from the Goliath. And the models remaining after turn 1. Turn 2 are priority rolls. Goliath wins this priority this time around. First up is Shadow Smasher. He uses Brutal Charge to gain an extra inch on his charge roll. He rolls a 1 and comes up an inch short. Simon lines up his shot again against Boomer. He shoots and he hits, wounds, and out of action. Shiv charges in, cannot fail. Scores 2 hit but needs an ammo check, which he fails. 1 wound with the gun, but it's a save. Now Franz attacks back, scores a hit, which is an automatic wound, and the result is an out of action. Chris makes a double move, preparing for next turn to make an ambush. Handsome Joe sees an opportunity, goes down the stairs, and aims down towards Franz. He shoots and scores 6 hits. Wound roll, 5 wounds, and no saves are made from Franz. And then the injury roll, well, he is out of there. Valkyrie's turn. Seeing that Shadow is approaching, she turns around and takes 2 shots. She hits once, but there's no wound. Hank the Tank fights off the little creature in front of him, scores 3 hits, 3 wounds, and 2 light wounds and a serious injury. That little creature is no more. Then he proceeds moving up towards the Saar. Since Valkyrie couldn't take down Shadow Smasher, Leopold shoots at him. He scores 2 hits, but Shadow Smasher uses Unstoppable Behemoth, negating any injuries caused by the attack. Leopold is then forced to fall back away from Shadow Smasher. Shadow Smasher is becoming a problem, and Helen wants to prove her worth. She moves into a position where she has a clean sight and takes a shot. She hits, she wounds, and she causes a serious injury. Simon seizes the opportunity and charges Shadow Smasher and takes him out with a coup de grace. New creatures spawn in, bigger and stronger this time around. The one on the bottom level charges right into Chris. He strikes, scores 1 hit, 1 wound, but a save. Chris turns around and strikes back and scores a hit and inflicts a wound. The second creature charges Chris as well. He scores 3 hits and 2 wounds, and Chris makes no saves. He causes serious injury and takes him out. The small little creature, it stands up from pinned and moves towards Hank the Tank. Turn 2 was quite eventful, and here's an overview of the battlefield after turn 2. And again an overview, the movement pattern of the Saar, and the movement pattern of the Goliath. And here during the attack pattern, I do notice that I actually attacked twice with Simon, but I actually did forget some other rules with the stimmer, so it balanced out quite nicely anyway. Priority roll for turn 3, both of them rolls a 4, that means Saar wins on equal. Cruz goes first. He decides to shoot one of the creatures, but he misses, and moves in behind the crates. Hank the Tank charges the larger creature, and with all those attacks he can't really fail. He creature goes out of action, and Hank the Tank consolidates behind the junk pile. Valkyrie goes next. She aims down towards the second creature, but she misses. Handsome Joe moves down the stairs, shoots at a creature, scores 3 hits, 2 wounds, and there's 2 light wounds and 2 serious injuries. Helen moves up to the edge, takes a shot, but misses. Leopold's turn. He moves up and gets a clear view of Handsome Joe. He shoots and inflicts 2 wounds. In the end phase, the final boss creature arrives. He charges Joe and attacks. No wounds are inflicted, and Joe retaliates, causing 2 wounds. The small creature activates, and he charges Hank the Tank. That proves to be a big mistake, as Hank the Tank rushes to the creature. And that ends turn 3. Again, movements. Not much movement left here now in turn 3. And the attack patterns. And finally, an overview of what it looks like at the end of turn 3. Priority roll for turn 4. Goliath wins the priority, and Handsome Joe goes first. He attacks the boss creature, takes him down, and with this, victory is secured by picking up the head and walking off the board edge, which he's standing right next to. And with that, the Goliath wins the first battle report. Please leave in the comments what you think I should improve on, or what parts you did like. And that's it for this time, and I'll see you guys in the next one.